I I never was a Joe Biden fan. So you go back to 2019, I was saying I didn't want him to be the nominee. And as he continued through the primary process onto the general election, then we had no choice, right? He was the pick. But Joe Biden is attorney. He's an attorney. However, he makes a lot of mistakes, a lot of big mistakes. And some people are going to say it's because of his age, but he was making mistakes when he was younger. He was making mistakes, a lot of them, when he was younger. Did a lot of things that I don't agree with. And on this home stretch, as a lame duck himself, even before he was a lame duck, he's been handling things wrong. Now, when he does things that are right, I will say that. When he does things that are wrong, I will say that too. And one of the many things that he did wrong is he said initially that he was going to be a one-term president. He's just a transitional president. He was a transitional figure, but he moved different than that, right? Meaning that his folks, now I'm talking years ago, his folks tore down and made Kamala Harris look bad way before the election, way before. And when he was saying that he was going to be transitional, his team, of course, did not want to give up power. His wife didn't want to give up power. So they knew the condition that Biden was in, but they thought that they could prop him up and push him through the finish line. And maybe they would have been able to get away with that, except for the fact that Biden was like, he's not Weekend at Bernie's, but he's like the prequel for Weekend at Bernie's. If any of you saw the movie, look it up. Weekend at Bernie's. The guy is dead, and the actors in the movie prop him up and take him around. And he even had a sequel. Right? Interesting. But Biden, not Weekend at Bernie's, but definitely Weekend at Bernie's adjacent. He's like the prequel. Anyway, he said that he was going to only be a one-term president, but of course, he changed his mind and decided to run. He shouldn't have run. We would have had a better chance if he had not run. But he ran. And it was a lousy campaign. Lousy campaign. And he is forced, after being exposed, to bow out and let Kamala Harris, the vice president, run. Now, this is after his team and the president made no effort to prepare Kamala Harris and make her look good. They did everything to minimize her. And then now they turn to her as the hope for the party. Right? Now, during the process, Biden says, I'm not going to pardon my son, which I thought was a stupid thing to say. Why would he say that? What he should have said, and this is supposed to be a capable attorney, but I'm sure he hasn't practiced in many years. But I keep saying that the attorney part, because they're supposed to know how to use their words. They're supposed to know how to use the English language and use the words meanings to talk slick. Biden can't talk slick. I don't know how Biden passed the bar, honestly. I don't know, because he says, I'm not going to pardon my son. He said that because he's worried about what Democrats are going to think. How this looks, I must look a certain way, blah, 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 blah. Then to turn around and pardon him, fine. What he should have said in the beginning is all options are on the table. I'm going to watch and see how this thing unfolds, or I'm not going to talk about a pending investigation, or he should have said something other than I'm not going to pardon the son, because now he looks like an idiot, right? And that's the thing. And even if you look like an idiot, even then, and you don't even have to be an attorney to understand this. So now we fast forward. He thinks that Kamala's going to win. He thinks Kamala's going to pardon him, and he's not going to have to worry about it. But then Trump wins. So now he's nervous. And then in addition to that, Trump is nominating people that are going to really give Hunter Biden trouble. And they've said it. They've written it down. They've tweeted it. They've posted it. They've said it. The people that Trump is trying to put in office will give Hunter Biden trouble. So now Jill, who's really the brains of the operation, his wife, she's nervous. So over the Thanksgiving weekend, they decide that Thanksgiving holiday, they decide that they're going to do the pardon. And they prop Joe up and say, go pardon Hunter, right? So then he comes out and he gives this whack statement. Supposed to be an attorney, supposed to be smart, but he gives this whack statement about how the justice system, improperly targeted his son who pled guilty, blah, 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 blah. The statement was wrong. Trump's attorneys have used Biden's actual statement in defense of why one of his cases needs to be thrown out, because, President Biden said that the Justice Department, his Justice Department, unfairly targets and prosecutes people, and that's why he pardoned his son. So he's trying to use that as a reason why his case should be thrown out. Again, Biden's words coming back to haunt him because he doesn't know how to say things. Biden should have just said, look, I don't like the people that Trump is talking about nominating. They've talked about coming after my son. I'm not having that, and I'm pardoning my son. Something along those lines, right? Not the foolishness that he said. And then, once again, let's flip it. Let's say that Donald Trump was pardoning his son. The Republicans would be all on board with it. You would not have Republicans saying, oh, Trump shouldn't have did this or Trump shouldn't have did that. They would all lined up. Democrats, on the other hand, they'll say, oh, I don't think he should have pardoned him. I understand why he did, but I hate it. Like, they're still tied into this rule of law stuff that the Republicans are not playing by those same rules. And that's why I say that Democrats are weak and Republicans are wrong, because it's just like you see that they're not using the fairness. You see it. And Democrats are still trying to. There's a way, of course, Michelle Obama, I love Michelle Obama. She said, when they go low, we go high. That doesn't apply. That does not apply anymore. And we need to, as Democrats, as people on the left, stop trying to use that mentality. There's still secretly people trying to say, well, the Republicans are doing this and we can't stoop to that level. That's why you lose. That's why you lose, because you are bringing a pen to a gunfight, like an ink pen, right? It's that bad, right? And so you've got to do better. You've got to do better. So anyway, he's pardoned his son. And he's just not like staying on. I pardon him. What? You know what I mean? But he should have done some other things, and he just does not know how to read a room. Joe Biden can't read the room. So you have folks on the left who are saying, you said you weren't going to do it, like trying to hold somebody to their word. All the lies that Trump has told, all the things that Trump said he was going to do that he ended up doing, nobody's holding him to account. They're saying Joe Biden, he lied, right? All of the lies that Donald Trump has told. Well, whatever, that's for a whole nother day. And so here we are. So with that being said, we are at a point where Joe Biden is on his way out the door. Joe Biden is what I call a lame duck. That's what he is, lame duck. But the lame duck is doing some things that are good. And